Hello everyone, Care Bear here to share with you a finished stuffy. This is the Reindeer Toy by Maria Ermolova, also known as Palishka Bunny. I have made a number of Maria's stuffies, and last year at the holiday time I did a Grinch, a snowman, and so I saw that she had the reindeers, and so I thought, I am going to do a reindeer toy. So, and I'm hoping to do this and gift it with perhaps a little Rudolph book. Anyway, let me tell you a little bit about this fun knit. Maria's pattern it is a purchase pattern, by the way, on Maria's website or also on Ravelry. And it calls for Aran weight yarn and that you need to use a US 4 or 3.5 millimeter needle. I used a worsted weight yarn. I use a lot of worsted weight yarns for my stuffies, and then I use a US 2.5 or a 3 millimeter needle, and it seems to work well for me. This one's quite tall, just show you. Anyway, that's the knees. I can show you the yarns that I used. I'm just going to put that little guy down. So I used Estelle worsted, and for both of those yarns, and one was more of a tan and the other one is a little bit of a beige, and I can give you those colored numbers. They're also on my Ravelry site, but the lighter one is Q61294 and the darker one is Q61244. So that's the worsted weight yarns that I used. And I also needed a little bit, 1 gram of a red yarn. I chose to use red. Maria's pattern is, she has a black nose, but I'm, changing up for the holiday. So I used not even a gram of, 1 gram of red. And then I think I needed 4 grams to do the antlers. And I just used a sport weight Cascade 220 Sport that I had left over from a monkey that I made from Maria's patterns. And then I also needed, for the mouth and for the eyes, because I don't use the safety eyes, I used some leftover Black Drops Charisma that I had in my stash. And you need, so little of this. It doesn't even come out to be a gram of the black. So those are the yarns that I used, and I can tell you a little bit more about the construction of this stuffy. So all of the parts are made separate. So you do the antlers, you knit separate, the ears, the head, the nose is knit separate, the body is knit separate. You need to do 2 of the arms and 2 of the legs. Once you finish knitting all of those, and I will tell you, this pattern is from 2019. I went and looked it up when she created this design, and so most of it is done in the flat, not in the round. You can do the arms in the round, and the legs, bottom part, you have to do flat, and then you end up seaming, and then you can do the legs in the round. But the body, because of the belly and the changing color, you have to do it flat, and it's intarsia knitting. You could do it part of it circular, but definitely when you get to this point, you're going to need to do intarsia knitting, which is allowing you to go back and forth and be able to pick up a different darker brown on one side than the other side. Same with the head, you have to do it flat because of the color on the face, and the ears, same thing. They have to be done flat because there's some intarsia knitting as well, because you start off with the dark and then you go into the beige. So I think I prefer some of Maria's earlier or later patterns because she gives you two options with knitting circular, but I guess with this one there wouldn't have been too much opportunity to knit circular. Anyway, so once you knit all the parts, then she has the instructions on how to build it and put it together. So you start by stuffing the head and then adding in the safety eyes. Maria uses safety eyes, so you can take a look at her samples on Ravelry. They're super cute with the safety eyes. I don't use the safety eyes. I just crochet a chain of 4 stitches, join it in the round, and then I anchor those in as eyes. And then I also do the, then after that you had to add in the little embroidery here. I just use duplicate stitch on the top of the head. And then you finish stuffing it, you sew the antlers on, you sew the ears on, you sew the nose on, and then you add the little mouthpiece here. Just a little bit of embroidery there. One thing I did learn is the nose is really quick to do. I think it's like 9 rows. And then I had to put the nose on and use what they call an overcast stitch, which I had never done that before. So I had to go Google what an overcast stitch was. So now I know. And you use an overcast stitch, and then you also had to put a little bit of stuffing into the nose, which she shows you in the pattern. It's fabulous. Then you go on and stuff the body. And once the body is stuffed, because it's sealed at the bottom, you up at the top, you start to stitch it around with the head, but you leave a little bit of opening to add some extra stuffing to the neck because you want the neck to be pretty strong. Then once you have the head and the body together, you then add the arms. And the arms, again, when you're knitting them, it started at I think at this end, I can't remember, but you're knitting in the round and then you switch to the other color and then you pull the yarn through. So this is tubular, and you just sew the arms on using a whip stitch, and the same obviously with the other arm. And the arms, I did put some stuffing in there. She recommends to make sure that you have stuffing at the bottom section, but I put a little more stuffing all the way through. Once you have the arms on, it's time to add the legs. And the legs, first you need to stuff the foot, and then you have to stitch the bottom of this foot with a whip stitch, and then you seal the foot right there. You can see it. I stuffed it all up, and then I stuffed the ankle, and then I sealed that. From the top, I could add stuffing, and she recommends that you use a pencil to push the stuffing down the leg. Again, take a look at Maria's pattern. I don't think she stuffs it quite as much as I did, but I wanted to give it a little bit more shaping. So I put some stuffing in there, and then just like the arms, you whip stitch the legs to the body. I can tell you, I go around, probably I went around twice, maybe even 3 times stitching the arms and the legs, just because I've seen the kids carrying these animals by their limbs or their horns and what have you. So I just give it that extra security so that we don't, we don't damage one of these little guys. Or if we do, whatever, I'll fix it. It's not a big deal. But I try to make it as secure as possible right from the get-go. So once I have sewn all that together, that's basically it. I usually add my KarebearKnitwear tag. I don't sell any of these things, obviously, but I do give them all to family, so I like to put them, I like to put my tag on it when I gift it. So I am likely going to gift this little guy with a book or a movie, and at the holiday time. I bought enough yarn to do 2 of these, but I gotta tell you, I only used, let me think, 60, I used 60 grams of the brown, and you can see there's more brown in the body. So I did use 60 grams of that. And of the lighter color, the cream color, I used 30. So I guess I could reverse it and do another one. I don't know. Maybe I'll use this for another, oopsie, another animal, but I do have another 100-gram of each of that Estelle worsted yarn. So I'm going to definitely do another one, but I'll use that up. So yeah, that is the Reindeer Toy by Maria. And I'm just checking if there was anything else that I needed to share with you. I don't think so. So I think we'll say bye for now, and thanks for listening. Check it out on Ravelry.